You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
They clearly at Mexico Beach clearly have a lot of work to do, but they have actually cleaned up quite a bit just in the last 3 days.
Search dogs are helping find those missing from Hurricane Michael as hundreds of thousands are still without power. Plus, what you can do to help storm victims who have lost everything after Hurricane Michael devastated the Panhandle in southwest Georgia. And look at this, vandals deface a statue in Savannah. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, folks. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Hello, early risers. It's 5 o'clock, October 15th. I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is off today, and Josh Stone has agreed to step in his place. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Ray. Well, beautiful conditions on this Monday morning. It's early, 76 degrees, clear skies right now, 100% humidity, so it is a little sticky when you walk outside on this early Monday morning. Not much to show you here on the radar. We had a little bit of activity last night, but that has moved off to the Gulf of Mexico and died down. Dry air still kind of hanging around, but this will change as we go through the next few days. We're going to have more of an easterly, southeasterly wind to help bring a little bit more moisture into the area to cause more of a chance of afternoon showers and some thunderstorms. But as you can see today, it's going to be fairly quiet, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies in our forecast, with highs topping out in the upper 80s and low 90s. Back to you, Ray.
All right, Josh, talk to you again soon. Thank you very much. Already, we start today with an accident on the interstate southbound 75. That is at the Ellington exit at 224. Be aware of that if you are traveling from the northern part of our viewing area. Otherwise clear in Manatee. Farther south, here's northern Sarasota. You'll see some buildup there along the bayfront already. Southbound 41 past the Ringling Bridge, the Sailor and Nurse statue, Marina Jack, all the way until you get to the 301 intersection. Then it clears up. And then farther south, here is the scene in South County. No issues to report as of 5:02 this morning. Happening today, President Trump and First Lady Melania will be visiting Florida and Georgia to evaluate the storm damage from Hurricane Michael. Michael has left thousands without power and electricity in those regions. Crews continue to work on getting power lines fixed in that area. Many people remain unaccounted for in Florida after Hurricane Michael. Right now, crews have a very dangerous task of sifting through piles of debris and rubble as they search for victims. The death toll continues to rise. 18 are dead and many are still missing. Here on the Suncoast, organizations are helping storm victims who have lost everything in that disaster. Marla Spence has that story. She's live now in our newsroom. Marla?
Hey, good morning, Ray. Food is something that is greatly needed by those devastated by Michael, including those on the Panhandle. Now, this company, All Faiths Food Bank, will be packing up and getting ready to send out food to those in need on the Panhandle. Now, volunteers this morning will gather in the Food Bank warehouse to pack those emergency boxes that will be sent to the Panhandle later today. Now, packing up donations will start at 8:30 this morning, and volunteers say they plan to wrap up about 11 o'clock this morning. Now, that's when donations will be packed up and then shipped away to those in need. Now, ABC 7 is partnering with All Faiths Food Bank and Food Bank of Manatee County for those in need right here on the Suncoast. If you want to learn more about our initiative, you can head to our website, mysuncoast.com. Ray?
Okay, thank you, Marla. A Sarasota man is in Panama City this morning passing out relief donations from the Suncoast. Sean Martin is originally from Panama City. We spoke to him Saturday as he was packing up for his trip north. He says after seeing video of the destruction there, he needed to do something. At first, he was planning on just putting together his own donations, but a Facebook post changed all that. It brought him together with other local people looking to help, and now he's on his way to help with water, batteries, tarps, and other items.
Nails, hammers, people donated, unbelievable amount of work gloves and shovels and just stuff to kind of help them get back in order. A lot of people we know lost their entire house. People donated blankets and clothes, and people, anything they had to give. Some people came, they were like, I don't have much, but they still found a way to give.
Martin says he is amazed by the people who have come to him with supplies, some of them reaching out to him several times to donate. Shelter dogs from Birmingham, Alabama boarded a flight to New Jersey over the weekend in hopes of finding a new home there. The Greater Birmingham Humane Society transported about 50 dogs on that airplane right there. Now that the animals are heading north, it opens up space for the Humane Society to take in even more animals from Florida.
And it gives these animals an immediate chance at getting in a home. Animals get stressed in the shelter with all the storms and with all this travel. This is really, it's like almost makes you want to cry being out here and seeing this.
Well, the average length of stay for a pet transported by Wings of Rescue is about 2.5 days, 3.5 days. So these pets have a little bit of celebrity to them, so they're probably going to be moving out faster. You know, they're just going to go very quickly.
Now, if you are looking for a way to donate in the Panhandle right now, a local radio station chain will be collecting supplies today. iHeartMedia will be collecting from 6 a.m. till noon, both days this week. This morning they'll be in South County, collecting at US 41 and 776 in Venice at Bill Buck Chevrolet. They'll also be at 41 and Stickney Point this morning at the pumpkin patch there in the corner. Tomorrow, they'll be once again there at 41 and Stickney Point. And then they'll also be in Manatee County at Mission Barbecue, which is at 41 and Cortez Road. On to other news now. Saudi Arabia is under intense pressure regarding the disappearance of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. He was reportedly last seen nearly 2 weeks ago, and there's an international push for answers. As John Lawrence tells us, he is a columnist for the Washington Post.
Still no sign of Jamal Khashoggi. Turkish officials say the Saudi columnist was murdered by a Saudi group sometime after he entered the Saudi consulate on October 2nd. The Saudis deny any responsibility.
The Saudis are probably telling anyone that'll listen, we're not culpable. If you act against us, we'll take action, because they know there's such strength in numbers.
If in fact the Saudis lured him into that consulate, murdered him, cut up his body, and disposed of it, there was going to be a very strong congressional response.
President Trump, appearing on CBS's 60 Minutes, gave fair warning to Saudi Arabia.
We would be very upset and angry if that were the case. As of this moment, they deny it, and they deny it vehemently. Could it be them? Yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and there will be severe punishment.
Some want action taken against Saudi Arabia.
So I think one of the strong things that we could do is not only stop military sales, not only put sanctions on Saudi Arabia, but most importantly, get out of this terrible, terrible war in Yemen led by the Saudis.
There's also talk that Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin should boycott an upcoming investment conference in Saudi Arabia scheduled for later this month. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The chairperson of the Republican National Committee has accepted President Trump's offer to stay in her current role. Ronna McDaniel will serve at least through the 2020 election. President Trump reportedly told aides that he wants a woman to lead the GOP in his re-election year. RNC members will have to officially vote, though, for McDaniel at their winter meeting. And look at this. Vandals have changed the look of a war statue in Georgia. This is how Revolutionary War hero Nathaniel Greene now looks in Savannah. He was a major general in the Continental Army back in 1775. He lived in Savannah after the war was won. Police are reviewing surveillance to see who changed his eyes on that statue. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, with the holiday season fast approaching, what you'll want to do to save on airfare this year. And later in the hour, a closer look at the financial impact of red tide on one Suncoast community. It's 5:08 right now. Here's a peek outside at the Rosemary District. Pretty well lit there off in the distance. Very nice. As far as your Monday forecast goes for that, we turn to meteorologist Josh Stone.
All right, Ray, yeah, the radar remains quiet right now, so nothing to show you here as far as temperatures go. In the mid-70s for both Sarasota, Bradenton, and down in Venice right now. The humidity and the dew points, well, around the mid-70s at this time. As you can see, as we go through the day, we're going to have plenty of sunshine and a few clouds develop in the afternoon. But one thing for sure, it's going to be another warm one with temperatures soaring into the upper 80s and low 90s. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Civics on sale is now. During our model year-end sale, try new Civics for just $169 a month. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. And now get Civic, a KBB.com's best buy of the year for less than the competition. New Civics just $169 a month. Your last chance for Civics, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Well, good early Monday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today. He'll be back tomorrow. We're looking at our radar and not much to show you here. We had some activity on it last night, but that has moved off in the Gulf of Mexico. As you can see, everything has dissipated. So very quiet radar right now. It is possible an isolated shower could get going maybe in Charlotte County later on this afternoon, but that's a very isolated and a very small chance that could happen. Temperatures right now on this Monday morning, very comfortable, mid to upper 70s. And this graphic actually came out on Friday. We're going to get an update on this later today, but this is the red tide graphic. As you can see, for the most part, we are quiet as far as the widespreadness of the red tide. It's more spotty than widespread, so that's good. Of course, we're all hoping that we get a similar graphic later today or even less than orange or red dots on it. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll let you know when that comes out later on today. As far as temperatures go, mid to upper 70s right now, feeling pretty comfortable. And as far as the tropics go, it's quiet out there. We were looking at this area of disturbed weather yesterday. The National Hurricane Center is not banking on it anymore, so that's good. It's also getting sheared apart with the upper level winds. But this one kind of popped up here. The only thing about this, though, is it is moving in generally westward. It's going to run out of water real estate, run into land, and as we all know, these storms thrive upon warm waters, and they thrive upon just water in general, and if it moves over land, especially over mountainous terrain here, it's not going to be a threat anymore. Look at this giant dip, this blue here. That is definitely a trough. That cold air has spilled southward. Right now, the current temperature in Denver, Colorado is 19 degrees. Now, they had a pretty powerful cold front that swept on by the other day to bring about 10 inches of snow in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the front continues to sag southward and is bringing snow here in New Mexico, possibly up to 16 inches of snow in some locations in the upper elevations. You can see winter weather watches, advisories, and winter weather warnings taking place for those folks out to the west. But that's obviously for them. For us, yes, this system's eventually going to slide on by. It could help ignite a few shower activity for our forecast as we get into the middle to latter part of this week, but it's not going to be a cold blast by any means. But it could actually help to dip our temperatures into the mid-80s instead of the upper 80s and low 90s. So not much to show you in the futurecast for today. It's pretty quiet. As far as the boating forecast, southeasterly winds becoming south in the afternoon at 10 knots, seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bays. Your temperature today will be 90, but it will feel close to 100 degrees. And as far as your 7-day outlook, well, here's the rain chance that starts to ramp up by the middle of this week. May have to tweak some of the percentages here, but with more of an easterly, southeasterly wind that's going to bring more moisture into the area, and then we'll have more shower activity. And then we discussed that cold front blasting the upper plains and the west. That could slide on by. It's not going to be potent for us, but could dip our temperatures down to a little more tolerable, maybe mid-80s. But that's where we should be at this time of the year. 86 is our average for a high, and so we should get there by the latter part of this upcoming weekend. So it's going to be warm to begin our week. A few showers in our forecast by midweek. I think things start to taper down by the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Josh. Checking traffic now, still an ongoing issue already. 75 southbound, an accident there at 224 at the Ellington Mall exit. Be aware of that in case you're traveling from the northern part of Manatee County or southern Hillsborough, if you're watching us there. Farther south now, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Still some buildup there along the Bayfront, 41 southbound from the Ringling Bridge to the 41-301 intersection. And then our final map to the south will indicate clear sailing at 517 this morning. A developing story in California where a skydiver died after her parachute didn't deploy. It happened at the Lodi Parachute Center south of Sacramento. Federal investigators say she was using her own equipment. Now, that center has averaged about 1 fatality a year over the past 15 years. And get this, 20 instructors at the center were suspended 2 years ago until they received more training. The holiday season is certainly fast approaching, and now is the time to work out any travel plans you might have. ABC's Lindsay Davis tracks some of the best ways to save money on flights.
'Tis the season to start thinking about those holiday plane tickets home. Looking at data from past years, the travel website Kayak has crunched the numbers for the best times to buy airfare for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Turns out flying on the actual day of Christmas or Thanksgiving is often cheaper than the days right before or just after. But if that's not an option and you're a bit of a risk taker, the site suggests buying tickets 1 week before Thanksgiving when the average ticket is $359. But for planners, the alternative is to book your tickets now at 6 weeks out when the average price is just slightly higher at $370.
So if you see a great deal, it's best to jump on that. You'll have more options and more flexibility.
Those heading home for Christmas, the sweet spot for the best deals is apparently 4 weeks out, with an average round-trip ticket totaling $374. And want to ring the new year in away from home? Consider booking your New Year's travel 6 weeks out, when the average round-trip flight costs $330.
Another great way to save is to look at flying in and out on different airlines.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Facebook Messenger's unsend button makes its first public appearance today. Could have used that a few times over the years. What users can expect in today's Tech Bites. And next half hour, a slow recovery is underway in the wake of Hurricane Michael. We'll take a closer look in the next half hour. Closer look right now at your largest city. There's New York at 5:19 a.m. It's 55 degrees there. Yeah, their temperatures are falling. Fall is here. 55, they'll see a high there of 65. A little warmer here on the Suncoast. We'll have details of Josh Stone's forecast and more news and Tech Bites coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut. It's the Gettle Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gettle dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gettle location near you or visit Gettle.com.
Gettle's got it.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids. Build great futures.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Monday morning, weekend now over. Shot outside our studios, looking south at downtown Sarasota. Glad you are with us on this Monday morning. Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, arrived in Sydney today ahead of their first major international royal tour together. The newlyweds were shown walking out the arrival doors into an awaiting car right there. Their official 16-day tour begins tomorrow. And breaking news overnight, the royal couple announced that they will be expecting a baby in the spring. Meghan Markle is about 12 weeks pregnant. According to the palace, they say it'll not cause any changes to the schedule. A bear cub in Maryland is back in the woods after getting its head stuck in a jar. Workers with the Wildlife Heritage Service tracked the animal for days, finally tranquilized it, and removed the jar from its head. Officials say after the rescue, the bear returned to the nearby woods. It's unclear exactly how that jar got stuck on its head, but it appears to be fine right now. Facebook is testing a new feature that allows users to unsend a message. Details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook testing an unsend button for Messenger.
News of the feature first appeared in April. Some users now say they've spotted it on the Messenger Android app. And reports say the unsend option appears to be available for a set time after a message is sent. Could it be the end of the scroll?
Instagram is testing a new interface. Instead of scrolling through a vertical feed, users will tap to see the next post, much like the social media stories feature. Instagram says they are just testing the idea for now and have no plans to roll it out yet. Forget electric cars, Tesla may be getting into the alcohol business.
The company has submitted a trademark application for the word Teslaquila, suggesting a tequila with Tesla branding could be coming soon. CEO Elon Musk even showed off a possible logo. There it is. And those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by McCormick Spices.
For 129 years, the holidays have started with the flavor of McCormick, making memories around the table and bringing families together. With aromas that awaken our emotions and tastes like cinnamon dancing on our tongue. Because it's the recipes we pass on to the next generation that are the reason there's really no flavor like home. And that's where you'll find the flavor of McCormick.
How do you top mac and cheese? Start with 100% clean ingredients, like Vermont white cheddar. Then add bacon, barbecue chicken, or Baja blend. Catering and delivery now available. Panera, food as it should be.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Damage is so widespread. Mexico Beach was, wiped off the map.
Hurricane Michael recovery efforts are underway as crews go door to door to help residents trapped in their homes. A new documentary about the Parkland School Massacre makes its debut. And it's a national initiative that organizers hope will become a nationwide thing, why you might see more teal-colored pumpkins this year. Those stories more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back, 5:29. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. It is Monday, October the 15th. Let's get to the forecast now. Here he is in for John Scalzi. It's Josh Stone.
All right, Ray, thanks so much. Our radar is quiet on this Monday morning, so nothing to show you here. We could have a few specks of showers on it by later on this afternoon, but those will be very isolated. How about our current temperatures right now? Lovely, in the mid to upper 70s in both Sarasota, Bradenton, and Venice. Also, I looked at some of the observations. There could be some areas of patchy fog, mostly inland, so keep that in mind for your morning commute if you're going eastbound. And for going back to school this morning, 77 at the bus stop this morning, mostly clear skies and partly cloudy by the time the bus drops you back at home. 89 degrees will be the temperature. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Josh. Talk to you again soon. Time to check the maps. First off, an ongoing issue, I-75 southbound. If you're traveling from northern Manatee County, be aware of that issue. Doesn't look like there's any residual delays, but the way our map is configured, it's hard to see north of that right now. Also build up there on 64 eastbound as you travel through West Bradenton, 301 northbound as you cross over State Road 70. Farther south now, here's the scene in the northern Sarasota County region. Some problems on 41, some congestion from the Ringling Causeway right past Marina Jack all the way to the 301 intersection. Otherwise, all clear. And farther south, no problems to report as of 5:31 this morning. And now to the storm-ravaged Florida Panhandle, where dozens of people are still missing after Hurricane Michael. The death toll stands at 18, but it's expected to grow. As ABC's Emily Rowd tells us, the President and the First Lady will visit the region today.
It's one of the strongest storms to ever hit the U.S. The number of dead continues to rise, and thousands more now homeless after Hurricane Michael.
Florida took a tremendous hit. This is some of the worst damage I've seen in my career.
FEMA Director Brock Long touring the damage Sunday with Florida Governor Rick Scott.
We're starting to see more of our power get on. We have about 17,000 utility workers working on power around the state.
It could take weeks for those crews to fully restore power, and right now search and rescue missions continue for the 46 people still unaccounted for.
It's been very traumatic. I can't hardly eat and I can't hardly sleep.
One family thinking their relatives evacuated before the storm, finding a surprise when looking online at an interactive map and spotting this, the word help spelled out in logs.
I contacted emergency services and they went out there to do a welfare check.
Rescue crews responding, finding all 3 people in the home safe and sound. And Tyndall Air Force Base taking a major hit, the aftermath resembling a war zone with many of the buildings a total loss. The base home to dozens of F-22 Raptors, each with a price tag of $300 million.
On Sunday, President Trump signed another disaster declaration, this time approving more federal aid money for the state of Georgia. The president and the First Lady will leave for Florida later this morning. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Hundreds of thousands are still without power, including in Albany, Georgia. The county says they've requested everything they can from the state. Nonprofits are helping with food and water. They plan to have baby supplies today on hand. They're asking residents to take photos of the damage with the hashtag #MichaelAlbany. The chair of the county commission there says there are ways to help.
We've heard your cry, we understand, we know that babies need diapers, we know that they need formula. We've requested those things, we're going to continue to request those things.
The county has asked for a federal disaster declaration so residents can receive assistance. Back in this area, the kickoff of a farmer's market at the Westfield Siesta Key Mall is being delayed indefinitely. They're blaming Hurricane Michael. Mall officials say the market's October 26 open has been called off until further notice. Once it does begin, the night market will feature live music and over 60 vendors. It'll take place every second and fourth Friday from October through December. Starting today, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office will collect donations for victims of Hurricane Michael. You can drop off new and packaged donations to the Sheriff's Office. No cash, please. If you want to donate cash, you're asked to do that through the American Red Cross. So the drop-off locations include 301 Boulevard West in Bradenton, 57th Avenue East in Bradenton, and 67th Street Circle East in Bradenton. You can get more information on our website, mysuncoast.com. Farther north in South Carolina, residents there are still trying to recover from Hurricane Florence. Many who were evacuated are now back rebuilding their homes. Despite preparing with boards and sandbags, water made its way inside every home on the street. This woman has lived in this neighborhood for 5 years. After going through now 2 floods in less than 3 years, she's now not sure if she's going to rebuild or just leave the area.
I want to stay. I love my house, but I can never go through the flood again. So I'm torn, you know. I love this community. I love my neighbors. Everybody is tight. Everybody is close. We look out for each other. You know, it's a great community. I love it here, but I can't go through this again.
She says she's taking things day by day and leaning on neighbors for support. We're learning more now about red tide's financial impact on one Sarasota County community. A survey by Venice Main Street and the Chamber of Commerce found 7 of 10 businesses in the area reported a drop in sales compared to last year. About 1/3 of shops and restaurants in Venice had to cut employees' hours, and the average business lost about $15,000 this past August. The nearby construction on Venice Avenue not helping either, but at least for this, many businesses say they were able to budget since they had advance notice.
We didn't make allowances for the red tide. I think the red tide's been really, in fact, more detrimental than the construction has.
The Chamber and Venice Main Street estimate those businesses lost a total of $1 million in August alone. A new documentary about the Parkland school massacre is making its debut. It's called Parkland Inside Building 12. It's described as a brutally direct and emotionally draining film about the shooting last February. A special screening was held Friday night in Parkland, where the director talked about it beforehand.
Tonight we're having a private screening for people that were in the film, victims' parents, students, teachers. It's time we heard from people that were literally looking down barrel of a gun, getting shot, ducking, running. Those are the people we need to hear from.
He also directed the harrowing 49 Pulses about the 2016 massacre at Orlando's Pulse nightclub. When it comes to our immigration policies, President Trump says he doesn't want people walking in our country illegally. And that's why he is still reevaluating policies at our southern border. As ABC's Tara Palmieri tells us, the administration released new video of a Texas detention center that is home to 2,400 unaccompanied minors.
Just weeks ahead of the midterms, President Trump putting a spotlight on immigration. This amid a report his administration is considering a new take on family separation at the border.
We have the dumbest immigration laws in the world. The world laughs at us, but we're getting them changed.
While the president says family separation could deter illegal immigration,
if they feel there will be separation, they don't come. You know, if they feel there's separation, it's a terrible situation.
He cited no evidence and gave no proof that undocumented immigrants are bringing children into the country to bypass immigration laws.
Everybody wants to come in, and they come in illegally, and they use children. In many cases, the children aren't theirs. They grab them, and they want to come in with the children.
According to the Washington Post, the president is considering a plan that gives parents who cross the border illegally 2 choices: stay in detention for months or even years with their children as they await immigration proceedings, or allow children to wait in government facilities until relatives are located. Even the First Lady weighing in, telling our Tom Yamas that she was blindsided by the child separation policy and she's against it.
You know, it was under your husband's policy, the zero tolerance policy, that these families were separated, that enforcement. Is this somewhere where you disagreed with him?
Yes, and I let him know. I didn't know that policy will come out. I was blindsided by it. I told him at home, and I said to him that I feel that's unacceptable, and he felt the same.
The crackdown on illegal immigration ended in June because of legal setbacks, but many children remain in detention. U.S. officials say more than 200 are not eligible for reunification or release. The Department of Health and Human Services out with a new video from inside a Texas detention center where 2,400 children are housed. Here, they're seen playing, eating together, and bunking in tight quarters.
Retail giant Sears has filed for bankruptcy this morning. The company, which has been around for 132 years, employs 90,000 people. That is down from $250,000 just 5 years ago. Sears was America's largest retailer. That was until Walmart got going back in the 1980s, and the growth of Amazon has hurt as well. The closest Sears store on the Suncoast is at the DeSoto Square Mall. No word if they will close as well. Some residents are painting their pumpkins teal this year as a symbol for trick-or-treaters that household is giving away candy for kids with food allergies. 1 out of 13 kids suffer food allergies, making this time of year a little scarier for parents than others.
You know, full body hives, eyes swelling shut, which is really scary, and, you know, not being able to breathe. So yeah, very scary.
So you can take part if you'd like. Just paint the pumpkin teal and provide allergy-free treats for those kids as well. Still ahead, we'll tell you how you can help storm victims in the Panhandle. We'll have a live update from our newsroom for you. But first, here's a peek outside our studios at the downtown area as we start panning toward the east. Beautiful shot. I look at that all day. It is 5:40 right now on this October the 15th. As far as today's forecast, you all know about that. For that, here's Josh Stone.
Yeah, you step outside and you're experiencing beautiful conditions, 76 degrees, clear skies right now. Nothing to show you on the radar. It is quiet, but it still works. We're going to have maybe a few isolated showers later on this afternoon. Those will be isolated though, and really probably inland and won't affect too many people. The dew point 76, so there could be areas of patchy fog on this Monday morning, so look out for that on your morning commute. As far as our day planner, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies and highs topping out in the upper 80s and lower 90s. We'll be right back.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
All right, happy Monday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Jonan for John Scalzi today. He'll be back tomorrow. Looking at the radar, the only thing we can really find is a few showers that are well off in the Atlantic on the east coast of Florida. But for us along the west coast, nothing to show you right now. Could have a few specks of shower activity later on this afternoon. I'll show you that in the futurecast in just a moment. Temperatures right now, we're walking out to beautiful conditions, mid to upper 70s at this hour. But with the dew points around the same current temperature, there could be some areas of patchy fog. So look out for that on your morning commute today. So it's going to be another warm one. Temperatures top out in the upper 80s, lower 90s. Showers will be the case the middle of this week, and then by the upcoming weekend, looks like things will clear out. We'll have a little cooler temperatures, not really that cool. I mean, mid 80s compared to upper 80s, but still, it'll be a mild weekend for us. In the tropics, the only thing we can really find is what's going on down here in the Western Caribbean. This has about a 30% chance of development. It is moving westward, though. And as you can see, west of where the system is land. So once this crosses land, it's pretty much going to fall apart. So we're not concerned about that. Other big story here on the national picture is this big dip of blue colors. That is a trough. Right now, it is 19 degrees in Denver. So they are experiencing some winter conditions over there. Last couple of days, they had some snow that came down, and heavy snow up to 10 inches in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Front has passed them by. Now they're feeling that northerly wind. That's why it's 19 for Denver. But still some snow falling in northern New Mexico and into Kansas, and that's why the National Weather Service has issued winter weather watches and advisories and warnings for those folks there. But not for us. If you are planning on flying out of SRQ today, both Atlanta, LaGuardia, and O'Hare and Charlotte have no delays at this time. So I talked about maybe some isolated showers later on today. We'll put the futurecast in motion. Maybe in eastern Manatee County, a pop-up shower potentially in central Manatee County and eastern Sarasota County. Again, these are going to be isolated, very minimal chance. I think most of us will be dry today and experience mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. For the boaters today, a southeasterly wind becoming south at 10 knots. Sea is 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bay. At the beach today, we should be around 87 degrees. Put your sunscreen on, though, because the UV index will be on the high side with a UV index at 8. 90 for our high. The average is 86, so above that today. It will feel close to 100 degrees, though, and an easterly wind about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the easterly wind is going to be the story here because we've been experiencing more of a northwesterly, northerly wind over the last couple of days. Dry air was above us over the weekend, pretty much quiet conditions, but with this easterly and then eventually southeasterly wind, that's going to bring more moisture into the area. And by middle of this week, you can see more clouds, some shower activity, but then things start to dry out as we get into the upcoming weekend. And like I said, temperatures cool down slightly into the mid-80s and more average-like around 86 degrees this coming Sunday. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Josh. Checking traffic, still an ongoing issue there on I-75 southbound up in Ellington. Be aware if you're heading southbound, a problem there, not too far from the exit to 301. Otherwise clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south. Some issues there on Fruitville Road, westbound as you get past Beneva and head toward Tuttle. Otherwise pretty clear in that section. And then farther south, nothing in the red right now to report as of 5:48 this morning. Hurricane Michael has left thousands still without water and electricity. While crews continue to work on getting power lines fixed, organizations here on the Suncoast are helping storm victims who have lost everything. Details on that from Marla Spence, who's now live in the newsroom this morning. Marla, good morning.
Hey, Ray, good morning. Still so many people without power on the Panhandle, but something that's just as much needed as power being restored is food right now for those who've been devastated by Michael. Now, this organization, All Faiths Food Bank, which is based out of Sarasota, is lending a helping hand to those in need. The organization plans to pack emergency boxes of food to be sent to affected areas of the Panhandle. Now, volunteers this morning will gather in in the food bank's warehouse to pack those emergency boxes that will be sent to the Panhandle later today. Now, packing up donations will start at 8:30 this morning, and then volunteers say they plan to wrap up about 11 o'clock, and that's when donations will be packed up and shipped away to those in need. Now, ABC7 is partnering with All Faiths Food Bank and food banks of Manatee County. To learn more about our initiative, you can head to our website, mysuncoast.com. Ray?
5:49 right now with the latest movie and music news. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void?
A Star is Born may be #2 at the box office, but it's #1 on the Billboard chart. The soundtrack for the musical drama debuted atop the Billboard 200 albums chart. It's familiar territory for Lady Gaga. This is her 5th album to top that list.
I had such grand plans. He'd graduate from college, do something amazing. And now I just want him to not die.
A beautiful launch for Beautiful Boy. The father-son drama had a strong debut, $221,000 in just 4 theaters, a $55,000 average, the 4th best per theater average of the year. The YouTube series BTS Burn the Stage has helped the South Korean boy band build a massive worldwide following. Now they're ready for their big screen debut. BTS Burn the Stage, the movie, billed as the most intimate look yet at the band's 2017 tour, is due to hit theaters November 15th for a limited run. Ticket presale begins October 22nd at burnthestagethemovie.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, this might not come as a huge surprise, and some Ariana Grande fans might be relieved, in fact, but the engagement is off with comedian Pete Davidson. She had written about him on her song. He was her soulmate. He'll have to change a tattoo now, maybe. They recently bought a home together as well. Certainly a mismatch from start to finish in that one. 5:51 right now. We'll come back and have the day's top news headlines. But first, here's a peek at Atlanta, Georgia. They're seeing 63 degrees there right now with a high of 81. Headlines and Josh Stone's forecast after this. Stay with us.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the 2nd leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today. When ABC 7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Good morning. It is 5:54. Our look outside, heading south toward the downtown skyline. Pretty start to the day. We'll talk to Josh in about a minute here. Let's check the top headlines as you awaken on this Monday morning. It was once the largest retail chain in the country, and now it is filing for bankruptcy protection. Sears plans to close 142 more stores. They've gone from 250,000 workers 5 years ago to 90,000 now and dwindling. Prince Harry and Meghan are expecting a baby in the spring. The couple just began a tour of Australia today. The baby would be the 7th in line to the throne. And after winning the first 2 games of the year, the Bucs have lost the past 3, this time to Atlanta. Falcons 34, Buccaneers 29. The Bucs host the Browns on Sunday. We might want to put Josh Stone in as quarterback this time.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a rotator cuff issue.
Just hand off the ball then.
Exactly, I could do that. Anyway, looking at the radar, it is quiet on this Monday morning, so we could have a few showers that develop later on this afternoon, but right now it is quiet. Here's a breakdown of the forecast for today. Starting off in the mid-70s this morning, then as we get into the afternoon, we climb up the ladder to the mid to upper 80s, some areas the low 90s. The average for a high, by the way, is 86 at this time of the year. But we'll have mostly sunny skies in the afternoon, partly cloudy skies, and like I said earlier, there could be a slight chance for showers to develop inland and then slowly make their way to the coast, but those will be isolated. Anyway, we'll have more on this coming up a little bit later.
All right, talk to you soon. President Trump coming to the Panhandle later on this morning to inspect the damage there. We'll have that story and much more news next hour on Good Morning Suncoast. See you there.